Israel prepared the F-35 to strike Russian S-400 missile system. The lifting of the international embargo on the purchase of weapons by Iran could lead to the fact that Tehran will begin to acquire air defense, and fighters from Moscow and Beijing. The publication notes that in 2019 Iran made attempts to acquire the S-400 Triumph from Russia, but the latter rejected this offer. But if the arms embargo ends, Moscow could seize the opportunity to sell Tehran the S-400, as well as fighters and other weapons, suggests Breaking Defense. As we wrote, such a clash in real combat conditions is possible and even expected. The fight will be interesting, the best fighter in the world, according to the USA, against the best anti-aircraft missile system to date. This is a generally accepted opinion. This is not even a test, but a test of the combat qualities of an aircraft made using stealth technology, which must overcome the S-400 defense system and prove the superiority of the F-35. Israel as a test bench was not chosen by chance. The combat aircraft of this country periodically inflicts airstrikes on Syria, on objects where, as they believe in Tel Aviv, Hezbollah and Iranian military units are located. From the Israeli Nevatim F-35 air base, they can carry out tasks without refueling in the airspace of Jordan, Lebanon and Syria, in most of Egypt and Iran, as well as in parts of the territories of Saudi Arabia and Turkey. Opinions differ, but some journalists say the F-35 will handle the S-400 without any problems. According to some Vietnamese journalists of Dat Viet newspaper, the Russian military had enough time to demonstrate the fact of the discovery of F-35 fighters, while the latter were in the detection zone of radar equipment. However, now, obviously, it should be assumed that it is the Russian S-400 should be wary of the American F-35. As we reported on July 6, Turkey tested the delivered Russian S-400 Triumph on fifth-generation American fighters, according to the Evening Courier and Fighter Jets World magazines. According to the magazine's article, the test results were not disclosed, but judging by the lack of complaints, it can be assumed that the country is completely satisfied with the complexes. In early January this year, the United States struck a car with terrorists near the Syrian-Iranian border. However, the message did not come from Washington, but directly from Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov. Following this incident, Washington did not deny the news, but recognizing the visibility of the F-35 for the S-400 air defense system, they declare the following: the ability to detect F-35 fighters does not mean the possibility for the S-400 to bring them down. It is added that, in such a situation, the F-35 will destroy the S-400 anti-aircraft missile system using the electronic jamming system. Iran said they do not trust the Russian S-400 against Israeli fighter jets. The Iranian authorities have rejected an earlier offer to purchase from Russia a batch of S-400 Triumph anti-aircraft missile systems to protect its airspace from external threats. According to the Brigadier General of the Army of the Islamic Republic of Iran Mahdi Farahi, the widely advertised capabilities of the Russian complexes have not yet been confirmed in practice. For this reason, Iran will be busy adopting the Bavar 373 complexes, which, it is said, although they have a shorter range, have already been tested both in Iran itself and on the territory of Syria, and are probably even superior to the Russian S-400. Brigadier General Mahdi Farahi said that the newest version of the Bavar 373, which will be presented in the near future, has capabilities that are superior to the S-400. He noted that Iran is making progress in the area of missile defense and can make significant progress in this sector. The general highlighted the progress of the Islamic Republic in missile production, saying that the country has created a special liquid fuel for missiles that is not inferior in shelf life to solid fuel, which allows the projectile to be stored for longer periods of time. Iran introduced the Bavar 373 in August 2019. The long-range air defense system is capable of detecting up to 100 targets, tracking 60 of them and firing at 6 at the same time. A distinctive feature of the Bavar 373 is its vertical launch system with square launchers, reported the Iranian news agency, Tasnim. Experts believe that the key reason for Iran's discontent is the fact that Russia has not yet deployed its S-400 Triumph air defense systems to ensure security on the territory of Syria, while Iran, judging by previously presented data, a year earlier deployed a radar with a FAR to the eastern part of the SAR. This allowed him to test his work on various kinds of targets, including drones and American stealth aircraft. Israeli officials have expressed increasing concern over the proliferation of Iranian-made surface-to-air missile systems in Syria, as well as the Syrian military's improved air defense capabilities, which have made it more difficult for the IDF to operate over Syria. Iran building power in countries west to attack countries, forces in Mideast. In Washington, Defense Minister Benny Gantz said Friday that Iran is building up its forces in the country's west in order to attack countries and forces in the Middle East in general and Israel in particular. We are preparing for any such attempt, and will do everything necessary to protect our citizens and our assets. He said Israel was preparing for any such attempt, and will do everything necessary to protect our citizens and our assets. Gantz met on Thursday with his counterpart Lloyd Austin and U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken. In a statement, the minister's office said he detailed to American officials Iran's use of attack drones to strike its enemies through its proxies as well as from Iranian territory. He said that in 2018 Iran apparently tried to provide such a drone armed with TNT to Palestinian terror groups in the West Bank. After Gantz's meeting with Austin, he said Iran is not just a threat to our physical security, but a concrete threat to our way of life and our shared values. He added, in its aspirations to become a hegemon, Iran seeks to destroy all traces of freedom, human dignity, and peace in the Middle East and beyond. The nuclear program is a means to its hegemonic goals. Gantz stated that in talks with world powers, Iran is playing poker with a bad hand and it's playing with time. With Blinken, Gantz discussed further developing ties between Israel and the other signatories to the Abraham Accords normalization agreements signed last year, and the possibility of normalizing relations with new regional partners, Gantz's office said. A U.S. spokesperson said the pair discussed Iran, Israeli security, and that Blinken had reiterated the administration's belief that Israelis and Palestinians deserve to live safely and securely and enjoy equal measures of freedom, prosperity, and democracy. Gantz flew to Washington on Wednesday for meetings with top U.S. military leaders, as troubled nuclear talks resumed in Vienna. Talks in Vienna on Thursday ended an hour after resuming following a few days' pause, with tensions high after Tehran made demands last week that European countries strongly criticized.